Hello, first of all, a warm welcome to all of you and in the open session to the students who are going to appear in 2022 prelims that will be conducted on the next weekend, that is 5th of June. So the reason for having this session at this juncture of time where you have so much to revise and so much to do, because being an aspirant, being an aspirant, we all know that what kind of mental situation we are present in the last week of our examination. So considering all of it, there might be a 2 or 3 things that must be, I will say, troubling you guys a lot. First, I will be discussing about test series and what to do in the last week. Along with me, Puneet sir, Sahil sir, and some other SMP mentors are also here. So we will try to make this session quite crisp, to the point, as well as issue based. So with the starting of session, I will be putting focus on the test series front. First of all, this is high time that you should stop solving test series, be it any. If you wish to solve some questions, our suggestion will be to stick towards previous year questions only, because previous year questions gives you or throws some light on what kind of questions UPSC asked, what domain is more important. So while revising the same, your subconscious mind will automatically take you towards those points. Okay, I have seen somewhere. Okay, I am doing just previous year questions. It means it is related to UPSC methodology only. Second thing, you must have solved a number of tests from, I guess, minimum 10 to somewhere 50-60 tests. So at this juncture of time, a revision of those tests is quite important. So sometimes you say that it seems that we cannot revise all the tests. We have 5 days or 6 days at our disposal. How can we revise all the tests? We cannot revise 10 tests per day. Yes, you cannot, but make sure you revise the portion which you are weak at. You revise your answer keys in a manner, the questions which you have made wrong, you should be able to get through it. Second thing, those test series are kind of your notes at your disposal. Guys, please mute yourself. Okay, fine, thank you. So what you have to do, take those texts first as having a recall value, like what questions you made wrong and why you made wrong. Were you weak at concept or you were not able to eliminate? You have to revise your test in such a way. You have already revised those, I guess, but in the last week, again, go through them, that why you made that question wrong. Second thing where I want to focus, as I said, your test will act as your notes. Second thing is you must have made some handwritten notes. You must have scribbled something over your notebooks. Suppose you found something important, you just wrote it down over notebooks on the margin, on the front page, or somewhere. Okay, or you have underlined, or you have made some arrow kind of sign or encircled the word that you find important. While skimming through book, make sure you put enough emphasis on those portions. Make sure by skimming your notes, books, you are able to put focus on those words, those underlined things, those arrows. Third thing, people are in the position either they have attempted sometimes over test, as I said, 50-60 tests. You might not be able to revise all in the last week, but yes, you will be able to revise full length. Try for it. Then go for your weaker sectional test that you have attempted. Okay, for example, I am weak at economics. I will go back to my economic test sectional that I have attempted, or environment or science and tech. Fine. So one of the queries that I received today, just mute. Guys, please do mute yourselves once you enter into the room. So one of the queries that I gathered is that I have attempted single source of test from any coaching institutes, or say suppose SOMP. So what should I do? Is it sufficient? For the time being, it is sufficient. It is not like that there is a minimum number of tests that you have to attempt. It is not like that you have to attempt 50 tests or 70 tests. No, it is not like that. People practice tests for two reasons. First, tests act as a resource for revision. Second, time management. Okay, were you able to attempt test in 2 hours? If you are checking those two boxes, it is okay. But what is troubling students is the marks. They are finding marks is not. Am I not audible?
You're audible, sir.
Okay.
Audible, sir, audible.
Okay, thank you. So marks is not something that you should think upon. Okay. If you feel that your marks has been a consistently low, or your marks has been consistently high, if it is high, then it's good for your confidence, but make sure it does not result into the overconfidence. If your marks are on lower side, even then you need not to lose your confidence. The reason for the same is that lower marks means you have revised those concepts, you have revised those targets, you have revised those books again and again. So you need not to worry at all. You need not to worry at all. So somehow you have strengthened your concept that will be visible in your UPSC. Second thing, sometimes it happens that in the present scenario that you will find that you have to attempt certain number of questions. Until unless you got 95% of accuracy, please mute yourself. Okay. Until unless you have 95% accuracy, it cannot be said that if you attempt 60-70 questions, then you will be able to do good, or you will be able to clear the cutoff. So to attempt decent numbers, you have to take risk. And I believe that by now you should be having your idea how to take calculated risk. Your elimination methods in your test series, your elimination methods in your previous year questions, those are the tools and techniques which were used by you to have the idea how to take calculated risk, how to go for elimination, how to eliminate the options. Fine. So if you feel that you are on the lower side of attempts, suppose 50 or 60, then it is really hard that you will be able to clear the cutoff or something. At that juncture of time, you have to decide whether you want to fight or you want to quit. I will not suggest quitting anyone. What all you have to do, try to understand the question, try to look for the words that you know about in the question. Try to figure out if you are able to eliminate any option and attempt that question with proper reasoning of your mind. It will not be a case that you don't know even a single word in your question or your options. So while attempting questions, you have to make sure that you have to attempt the questions, because low attempts will ensure that you are not in, but high attempts will certainly give you kind of probability or possibility that you will be in the list that gives you ticket to the mains. Fine. So with this, I rest my case. I will ask Sahil sir to come up. Before that, I repeat whatever I have mentioned. in a very crisp manner. First thing, you should not worry about number of marks in your mocks in your test. Second thing, you should not worry about number of mocks that you have attempted. In first case, if your marks are low, it means you have revised concept again with conscious mind, with full focus and attention. So you have all that at your disposal. Second, number of mocks are not criteria to gauge your prelims preparation, but your understanding with the concept, your hold on the static part and your revision of the current affairs part depends. Third thing, how to utilize these 5-6 days. Revise your test that you have attempted, because the test attempted and not revised is equivalent to not attempted at all. Third thing, the continuation of the same, whatever notes you have made, whatever things you have underlined, whatever things you have encircled, you while revising the book or going through skimming of the book, you put your focus on that part of the revision. Last but not the least from my side, with this I will end. While revising, it might be a case that you will reach to a saturation point. When I say saturation point, you won't be able to study more. It might be the case in the last day, and you will be worrying more, because if you're not studying, your mind is empty. It have nothing to do. What it will do, it will just bog you down into the negative thoughts. So this saturation will come if you keep studying one question or say one subject at all the times. You don't have to do it. Rather, you divide your day. Okay, suppose I have to do environment. I know that environment I cannot remember, or I remember for a very short period of time, species, acts and all. So what I will do, I will revise that first, that 2 hours for the environment. I will give the acts, organizations, species, endangered, not non-endangered, these things. Okay, I will move to art and culture. I have revising temples only, temples and dance forms. Okay, moving to the third syllabus. I have to revise parliament chapter and my fundamental rights. I feel that this is not right, but questions comes. Okay, similarly, in the history part, I have to revise acts. 1833 Act, 53, 92, 909, 1990, 1935, all these things. You just divide your time in such way. Okay, so every day you should be clear that I will be taking these 4-5 subjects, and in these 4-5 subjects, I will be taking these 2-3 topics daily, apart from whatever revision I am doing of my question papers, of my notes. Fine. If in this anyone got any query, do ask. If you can type in the chat box, do type on the chat box. We will answer you. And if someone wants to ask you orally, then do speak, please.
We will take up the doubts after we'll complete.
Okay, fine then.
Hello guys, good evening. So okay. I hope you are preparing well for the prelims. So tomorrow our country will get new toppers. तो ज़्यादा टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना है, रैंक 1 चेक कर लो कौन है क्या है, ठीक है, अपनी तैयारी में लगो क्योंकि जून 5th is coming. That is thing number 1. So tomorrow I know that some of you will be spending some time that who is the rank 1, rank 2, this and that, but don't spend too much time. And don't worry about it. We'll be having toppers meet after the prelims in Delhi, so you can meet. There's no problem with that. Second thing is that during the last time, I hope I am audible clearly. Okay. So during these last times, many new videos you will be seeing on the YouTube here and there. So last year it has happened that elimination technique videos, and they were circulating everywhere on every group here and there, and many have failed. This is not the time to get a new strategy, as simple as that. Whatever you had to done, you have done it. So this is not the time for entering into the new strategies. Suppose you are very much comfortable with attempting 80 number of questions. and someone is telling you that no, you should go for 95, or someone is telling you you should go for 65. Both are wrong. Now it's you. Now it is your game. Now it's up to you what you have to do, and you should be aware about it through your mocks and other things. So no more videos, no more strategies, number of attempts. It all depends on you. The most important thing which I would like to talk about, there are 2 to 3 things. Number one thing is the self-confidence. Self-confidence is the key now. Even if you are getting very poor marks in the mock, let's say 50, 60, 70, whatever it is, you should have that self-confidence that I will do my best in the real exam. And real exam is quite different, and that will be quite different. That is not like mock, right? In 2018 attempt, just 3 days ago of prelims, I got 42 marks in a particular mock. I was like, the game is over. But only one thing which I had and with me in my earlier attempt, that is the self-confidence. I was like, okay, we'll see. I'll do good in the exam. And I got around 26 marks more than the cutoff, right? So that should not be the case. Then self confidence you should maintain. Then there is another thing is depression. Depression is quite a common thing during the exam time, stress and other things. But what worries me more, I have seen many good candidates ruining their exam during this last week, and consciously they are doing it. And you cannot say, sir, you cannot blame me, that is depression, and you cannot understand it. Okay, I might not be understanding it, but if you cannot hold yourself for 7 days, then what you are expecting? Because if you knew that you have this issue, you should have taken the help earlier. Now it's not the case that you are like, okay, everything was going good and now I should ruin my exam. Start taking the responsibility. Start taking full responsibility. If you are under stress, if you are depressed, find the solution within you, and you know the solution. It is just a matter of 7 days, and within a 7 days, everything will be okay. So please do not ruin your attempt. Please do not waste your attempt just because of these last days stress and other things. As far as marks, as I have told you about, then one thing that is CSAT, although I'm sure that some of you might be very much comfortable with CSAT, but I would say only one thing for the CSAT: do not take CSAT lightly. Revise some formula or whatever you want to during this last time. That is going to help you very well, right? So please do not take CSAT lightly. After GS, once you are done with the GS and you are quite happy with the GS, once you are done with the GS and you are quite happy with the GS, but that should not be the case that you are not going to give your best in the CSAT. In CSAT, please go for some good number of questions. So generally, the candidate who fails in CSAT, they are like, sir, I have attempted 32 questions. Will I pass the exam or not? I don't know. Yeah. 32 is very much, very less, right? So please take CSAT seriously. At this point of time, you must be having a list, which I have talked in the earlier session, that everyone should have a list that what you are going to read during this last 5 or 6 days. So it could be any international indexes, reports, anything. So you should have that list, revise your test as sir has said. And if anyone face any issue or if you have any doubt, you can contact us. That's it from my side. Sahil, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
Utkarsh, sir,
someone has said that Abhyas has broke the confidence. It is happening with everyone, and they are like, what they have made in this particular year. Please do not worry about it, because everyone is facing the same issue, right? So you should not worry about it. Yes, Sahil, please.
yes, please make me the host. I need to use the whiteboard.
Sahil, you are host now.
No, I'm by the name of Swamp Mentorship. So we have made, I guess someone else has been made the host.
Wait. Sorry, sir. Okay, fine. Now you are the host, I guess.
Yes. Perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
So hi everyone. Many of the things have already been discussed, right? Just a second. Few of the things which I want to convey, they will be like what you need to do in the next just next 7 days, right? 6 days basically, not 7 days, and those 2 hours, right? Because I personally feel that it is a 50-50 game, right? I've told this many a times. Whatever you do till 5th of June 9:30 is just 50% of the part. What you do in those 2 hours is 50% of the part, right? There have been many students who were exceptional before the final time, and but they did blunders in those 2 hours and they could not clear. While there have been many students who were uh, not very good before the exam, but they maintained that exam temperament and they cleared the exam, right? So okay, so firstly this aspect I'll be dealing with. Firstly, it's still not over, right? You might be getting various messages. It could be either your well wishes, it could be either your competitors, but do not pay heed to any such message which says to you that it is that whatever you could have done, it has been done. Right now, time to relax and everything. Of course, it is time to relax, but relax while studying. Right? Be study in a relaxed mode. Right? Your output should be, let's say, 10 hours, 12 hours, 11 hours, whatever you can manage, but do not be like that I am gonna study for 4 hours only, 5 hours only, now I'm gonna relax, because that might be possible, that may be true for the last day, or maybe just Friday and Saturday you could have just take, let's say, 8 hours, 9 hours, but not before that, right? Go for 11, 12 hours, whatever you can in the next 4 days or 5 days at least, right? Why is this important? It's still not over, right? Number one is the, let's say, the revision of what you have all of the content, right? And number two is the self confidence, right? If you do not revise in these 6 days, no matter how well you are at this present moment, right, you will not be having that self confidence at 9:30 a.m., right, on 5th of June. So let's say whatever you do in next 6 days, let's say just two questions come out of this, right? But believe me, if you do not give your 120% in these 6 days, you will be having a slight, even a very a confidence which is of lesser magnitude, which you will be having after revising the things and giving your 120%, right? Number two, focused plus relaxed mindset, right? Both of these are important. Why focused? Because you have lesser time, you need to do many things, and you know that is possible. The next 6 days have that potential to give you output of 15 days, 20 days, because you need to retain the things for lesser amount of time, right? That automatically increases your effective output. You know that if I read this thing on Monday, there are very high chances that I will recall that thing on Sunday, next Sunday, right? So that means you can effectively read more number of things in shorter span of time, right? So that's why focus mindset is important. And why is the relaxed mindset important? Right? Because your mind should be calm right now, right? It should not be like that is remaining, that is remaining. Of course, many things will appear like this is remaining, this is remaining, but it is now your responsibility to say to your brain that to say to your mind that okay, this is happening with everyone. If I maintain that calm, I will be ahead of everyone, right? Ahead of my competitors, right? You are not that school kid now who cannot, control that thing. When someone has told you that you need to control your nerves, it is your responsibility to say to your brain that I need to control my nerves, right? Your brain will uh, again and again, try to scare you that this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. But tell your brain everything is in under control. I just need to set my targets, set my daily targets, whatever I need to do, and I just need to achieve them one bit at a time, right? Nothing complicated, right? Third, do not complicate things. As I've said, whatever you have been doing till now, whatever sources you have been doing till now, they are perfectly fine. Just keep revising them. I am assuming that you have that list with you, which you need to revise at this moment, be it your static, be it your current, or be it your whatever thing, right? If you do not have the list, on the channel, on the main channel, there is we'll just forward that PDF. It contains the most important topics. At least try to uh, get a hang of those topics. If you are absolutely unsure about what topics should I go about for the next 6 days, I feel that if even if you get a hang of those static topics plus the important current affairs, whichever you have marked, right, things can be good, right? So do not complicate things. Focus on whatever you have done. I have always maintained that there are 4 things you should be focusing, right? Static, this is the king. It has always remained the king, right? Anyone who has poor control on static, on a poor uh, knowledge on static, has a very very less chance of clearing the exam, right? Current, of course, to give you that edge, right? Then pyqs, not the time to solve the pyqs in entirety, but if you have solved it, uh, just look at the mistakes you have done, or just for the sake of seeing the language of the questions, right? What UPSC has framed, the traps which UPSC sets, the particular language which UPSC uses, or maybe just you for looking out the 5-10% content which you need. That is why PYQs are important, right? And revising the mock mistakes, right? No new mock at this particular point of time. I'm saying that whatever mistakes you have done, just revise that thing, right? Any mocks, be it at any coaching institute, they can be irrational at times, right? They may not have direct correlation with what is the actual scenario, what might be the actual scenario in UPSC, right? So any irrational mock which is not in coherence with the actual pattern of UPSC can really break your confidence at this particular time, and we do not need that, right? You cannot be that student who is scoring 40 and just by looking at mock you will get 100, right? But you might end up becoming that student who is on 90, right? And by having that mock you might get that demotivation and you might come at 75, right? So no new mock at this time, and mostly the mocks which are designed towards the end, they are made a bit irrational to to give that scare factor. Do not fall into that trap, like. However, I'm maintaining that you need to revise the mock mistakes, right? Next is right. This is very important. Do not need to give 2 hours, 3 hours. Just 15 minutes of walk, right? 15 minutes of something which can cool off your mind. It can be just mute your mic. It can be maybe if you are into the breathing and meditation, you can continue with that. It may be just pursuing whatever hobby you are having, but just 15 minutes which you can just you can use to cool your mind, right? Plus good food, right? Now do not equate that, okay, I usually do not get problem with whatever junk I am eating, right? The idea is not this thing. Whatever you will be eating in the next 6 days, somewhere maybe 1%, maybe 2% or 3%, it will, indirectly have effect on your brain's efficiency. And we need your brain to function at 100% efficiency on 5th of June, right? Good food, including salads, juices, and everything. This will ensure that you beat the heat as well as you maintain that efficient mindset during on 5th of June, right? Then the body clock, right? No, nothing to say here. This is not that university exam or college exam or the school exam where you can study all night and just go out and give yourself. And as the paper has evolved, along with your knowledge, we all know what sort of things UPSC is testing, right? So to optimally function on that day, you need to set your brain in the right order. You need to set your body clock in the right order. So try, even if you have not done it till now, though it should have been done by now, right? Set your body clock right. By, I guess, 11 you should be sleeping, maybe, because if you go to bed by 11, you might fall asleep by 11:30, 11:45, right? That is the max. Do not stretch yourself into 1 p.m., 2 p.m. thinking that I'll do this thing, because sleeping at 1 or 2 p.m. means that you'll be waking up at 8 a.m. Oh, sorry, 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. means that you'll be waking up at 8 a.m., right? And that automatically means that your brain becomes active somewhere around 10 a.m., right? This is the usual scenario, because on the day, on the final day, you will bathe, you will do everything, and that takes somewhere around, let's say, 1 hour, and it takes your brain half an hour or something like that to get activated, right? So wake up somewhere around 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., and then start your day, so that by 9:30 you're having the maximum efficiency, right? So set your body clock right. Right. So this was what, and I've said you that I hope that all of you have that things which you need to revise, because because these things are very custom, very personal, as in what you need to revise. Your polity might be your weaker area, economics might be your weaker area. Whatever you feel is your weaker area, prioritize that, right? And keep doing accordingly, right? There is no point of delving into that topic as to focus on this topic. If you have absolute doubt on this topic as to what needs to be focused, there's a PDF on the main channel. Just look at that. I will forward it. I just look at that, and if you feel you are absolutely clueless, follow the static topics given there plus the current affairs. And if you have done PYQs, revise that. If you have not done PYQs, I'll still say maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just at least look at the language of the PYQs, right? This will, orient your brain in the right direction, right? Which is needed. Do not look at any mocks at this time, right? They can really be counterproductive at this time, right? Okay, so this was about what you should be doing in the next 6 days. Next is, as I said, the 2-hour battle, right? Which is equally important as what you have done in the last 1 year, 2 years, and what you'll be doing in the next 6 days, right? See, I believe that you have evolved your strategy, right? You have evolved your strategy based on the mocks, based on PYQs. Maybe if you are giving this attempt for third time, fourth time, so you are having slight idea, right, as to how the things work, right? Whatever you have evolved, whatever strategy you have evolved, stick to that, right? But, and this is my personal, personal opinion, this might not be true for anyone, but I feel, uh, if but I just want to communicate this thing to you. See, be a bit flexible as well, right? What I mean to say here is that, see, 99% follow your strategy till now, right? Whatever you have, uh, formulated, let's say, be it the number of questions you'll be attempting, or be it the manner in which you will be attempting, or whatever, right? But this is UPSC, and UPSC has that, tendency of shaking you, right? So it might bring some elements which which might not have been introduced till now, right? So this 1% thing is just that if you feel that this paper, this particular 2022 exam is not that thing which has been asked till now, right? Or maybe it is the weirdest exam, let's say the 2020 students felt this, 21 felt this, maybe 2022 might get even a weirder thing, right? But whatever, let's say it is the easiest exam, yeah, maybe you'll get the easiest paper, maybe easier than 2016 as well, right? Whatever it is. But if you feel that overall UPSC has changed its scenario, let's say what if you get 80 questions, not 100, right? Just taking a hypothetical scenario, right? So someone's mic is on, please mute your mic.
Satyam, Rutuja, please mute your mic. Saizer, you can do from your end. Na? Satyam Rajput is there.
Yes. Right. So what I want to say, just 99% follow your strategy, whatever you have formulated, and I believe it will work, right? But just 1%, be a bit flexible, right? If anything appears before you which is completely out of track or out of syllabus, right? You have to tweak yourself in those 2 hours, and this will not be the usual scenario, but this can be 1% scenario. Just have that slight bent of mind that if needed, if that 1% thing is needed, I may need to tweak my strategy a bit. This will not be a very big thing, but 1 or 2 things you might need to tweak, right? Let's say an example I can give you. Before 2020, the 3-round strategy, it worked very well, right? 2020 and 2021, the 3-round strategy, people are struggling to complete 3 rounds. Now what is the solution? The solution could be either you panic in the exam hall, that okay, what is happening with me, or you just say that okay, if it is happening with me, it is happening with everyone, right? What is the solution? The solution might be 2-round strategy, right? So you combine the 2 rounds. The idea is be a bit flexible, right, according to the exam, right? Let's say the paper is very easy, and maybe you have formulated your strategy around 75 questions, 78 questions. Now probably I need to increase my attempts, maybe let's say 85, maybe 86, right? Because automatically things shift a bit. Let's say the paper is extremely difficult, extremely difficult, and you have formulated your strategy somewhere, let's say around 90 questions. Now you need to dilute the things a bit, maybe 85, maybe 83, right? This is what the small tweaks I'm saying about, right? Next is, see, difficult question. It is difficult for everyone, right? It is not difficult for only you, right? So have this thing in your mind that if I am facing the trouble, if I've done decent preparation, the things are difficult for everyone, right? Use whatever logical techniques you feel have worked for you, right? I'm not saying tukka, I'm not saying elimination techniques, I'm saying logical techniques, right? The logical techniques and elimination techniques, they might sound similar, but there is slight, uh, deviation. Logical techniques are based on your pre-existing knowledge as well, right? Maybe your gut feeling, maybe something somewhere, your mind and your heart is saying that yes, this could be the answer, right? And that is based on your experience, which you have gained over the years, or maybe by doing the number of mocks and the PYQs, right? Let's say everything fails, let's say you're not getting anything, and still you need to, uh, you need to attempt that question. Again, this is a word of caution. If you do not feel yourself very comfortable in, applying this thing, refrain from it. If you feel how to, if you know how to apply it, do it, right? This is try to get into the mind of examiner, right? With what perspective he might have framed that question, right? An example of that could be, and I'm not saying that this is the rule, but let's say whenever an examiner is framing, he has the tendency to use more popular things, right? Let's say question might be more on Akbar, Ashok, Vijayanagar, right? Then on, let's say, Golconda, Balban, or something like this, right? So wherever you feel you have a doubt and you need to, take a chance, and I'm saying you need to take a chance. If you feel you need not take a chance, that is perfectly fine. But if you feel you need to take a chance, try to, see what could have motivated the examiner to frame this question, right? A Balban could not have motivated him, or what I could say that an Ashok or an Akbar would have motivated him more, right, to frame that question, right? And somewhere this has also been seen that in history, these the more popular names are usually the answers major times, right? Majority of the times, and I'm saying this again, use it with a disclaimer, right? If you do not know how to use it, refrain from it, right? Then see, one thing I've observed is that the moment you are, done with those questions where those 30, 35, 40 questions are done where you know the answer, and you now need to attempt those extra 40 questions where you need to eliminate, you need to apply your mind every here and there, you need to use your pre-existing knowledge, observational knowledge, connect the things, etymology, Hindi translation, everything, right? Students tend to slack a bit, right? They tend to dilute their focus, they tend to become complacent, right? ये दिखता नहीं है एग्जाम हॉल में, but ये होता है, right? And because this is the tendency which, this is the thing which starts to happen after, let's say, an hour, right? 10:30 बजे के बाद this might start happening, right? So tell your mind that these two are in these 2 hours. Why is the mic? Tell yourself that in these 2 hours there is not even 1%, space for that complacency, right? I have to give my 120% for 2 hours, right? The difference will be minute, maybe not minute, but the difference will might not be very large. Let's say might be 10 marks, 12 marks. How? Uh, if you become complacent, you might, end up not attempting or end up marking 5-6 questions wrong because you have not used every part of your brain to arrive at the answer. And UPSC does this thing, right? They will give you those things where you need to connect the dots. Maybe you have read something 4 years back, 5 years back, seen something just 2 days back. But if you try to engage your brain subconsciously, right, you do not become complacent कि हो गया अब तो जो होना था, right, हार चुका हूं मैं तो, and all these things. हारना है 11:30 बजे हार जाना, इन 11:30 तक you do not have that the window to be complacent, right? फिर आप अपने ही गलती से हारोगे, right? फिर आपके आगे जो बैठा है he is automatically being given the ticket by you to write mains rather than you writing the mains, right? And it's a competitive exam, everyone knows it, right? ये 5-6 क्वेश्चंस इनका ऑटोमेटिक गैप होगा 10 to 12 मार्क्स, राइट? जो आपका कॉम्पिटिटर बहुत इजीली जस्ट बाय बीइंग फोकस, जस्ट बाय बीइंग अटेंटिव, जस्ट बाय बीइंग more observational, more attentive, right, he will get 12 marks extra and you will lose on those marks, right? So fight for each and every mark. We know each and every mark is important in mains, right? But it is equally important in prelims. It is here the game is of 0.33, right? 0.66. And you know that any mistake done in one question where you could have attempted the question, you know how brutal or how fatal it can be for you, right? Next is see, never have I seen a person who has cleared prelims by marking these questions wrong, the easier questions. There will be, let's say, 15 to 20 easy questions. And if you do 3 to 4 to 5 such questions wrong, the gap which is being created is minus 4.66 into 345, right? And you can imagine the loss which is happening here, somewhere between 12 to 20 marks, right? No matter what you do after this, you will have to, let's say, mark 7 to 8 questions which are of difficult nature, right? You have to mark these questions as right to compensate for this thing, right? So easier questions, if done wrong, they automatically increase your chances of not writing the mains. See, this is the truth. Take it with a positive orientation, right? I'm not demotivating, but this is the truth. I need to tell you that easier questions cannot be done wrong. If UPSC is asking you what is two-state solution or which country leads to two-state solution, your answer cannot be China, right? If you're marking China, it means there is a problem, right? Maybe you were not prepared, right? You know the answer is Israel, right? Next is no panic, right? A number of times I've repeated this thing. UPSC will try to unsettle you, right? It will try to shock you. It will try to surprise you. In every page, in every question, there will be difficult challenges, right? But tell yourself, number one, the challenges are for everyone, right? And I am prepared for these challenges, right? It could be paper related challenges, right? The pattern is difficult, sports के question आ गए, fashion के आ गए, कुछ भी आ गया, right? आपके लिए आया, सबके लिए आया. मान लो साइंस टेक नहीं तैयार किया था, साइंस टेक से 15 क्वेश्चन आ गए, डजंट मैटर, ठीक है? 85 पे खेलो, ठीक है? उन 15 में से tell yourself that somewhere I will try to get somewhere 5 4 5 6 क्वेश्चन करने की कोशिश करूंगा या आई ट्राई टू डू समथिंग, राइट, डू देम, बट पैनिक मत कर जाना किसी भी सेंस कि अब तो गेम ओवर। कुछ लोग तो सम पीपल स्टार्ट सी द पेपर एट 9:30, 9:35 पे तो वो ये मन बना चुके होते हैं, दे हैव मेड देयर माइंड कि मैं तो अब 2023 में ही आऊंगा वापस, राइट, और फिर वो 2023 में कहेंगे आई विल कम इन 2024, राइट, दिस इज एन नेवर एंडिंग साइकिल, दिस विल नेवर एंड, राइट। Paper related challenges UPSC will throw at you, I am telling you, these are intentional challenges, these are challenges to test whether you are even mentally whether you are mentally eligible to be a civil servant or not, right? अगर पेपर बहुत इजी ही करना है उन्हें तो फिर दे आर नॉट टेस्टिंग यू, राइट। तो पेपर रिलेटेड चैलेंजेस आएंगे, पैनिक नहीं करना है, ठीक है। बेंच खराब है, फैन खराब है, फैन नहीं चल रहा, लाइट नहीं चल रही, सनलाइट आ रही है, धूप लग रही है, कितने चैलेंजेस हो गए। लेकिन अगर आप कुछ चैलेंज फेस कर रहे हो तो समवन एल्स इज फेसिंग सम अदर चैलेंज, राइट, इवन इफ ही और शी इज नॉट फेसिंग द चैलेंज, द कंपटीशन इज रिलेटिव, ठीक है। 2 घंटे में सब कुछ डिसाइड हो जाएगा, ठीक है। उसके बाद कोई नहीं सुनेगा मेरे बेंच खराब था, ये खराब था, वो खराब था, ठीक है। इतना सफिशिएंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सबको मिल जाता है कि आप अपने दिमाग से, अपने पेन OMR से काम बना लो, राइट। इतना खराब बेंच किसी को नहीं मिलता कि आपकी OMR फट जाएगी, ठीक है ना, बस उतना ही चाहिए, ठीक है ना। एक नॉर्मल अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा ही ह्यूमिड एंड हॉट रीजन में होंगे तो नॉर्मल पंखा सबको मिल जाएगा, राइट। तो इन सब चीजों, ट्रिवियल चीजों के बारे में सोचना मत उधर, ठीक है ना। सोचा था 6 घंटे सोऊंगा, नींद 4 ही घंटे की आई, कोई बात नहीं, राइट। ब्रेन को कह दो बस आ गई है नींद, ठीक है, डजेंट मैटर, ठीक है ना। तो उस दिन आपको सिर्फ और सिर्फ ये सोचना कि उन 2 घंटों में हाउ विल हाउ विल आई गिव माई 120%, नथिंग हेयर नथिंग देयर, राइट। टीचर खराब है, टीचर बातें कर रहा है, पहली बात तो उसको कह दो, टीचर को कह दो भाई मैम यू आर नॉट सपोज टू टॉक, दिस इज वी आर सिटिंग इन एन एग्जाम हॉल, राइट। इवन इफ ही और शी डज नॉट टेक नोट ऑफ दैट थिंग, किसी और को कहो, राइट। अगर वो बहुत परेशान वाली चीज है, राइट, ऑफ कोर्स वो अच्छी चीज नहीं है, राइट। लेकिन मान लो कि चीज आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल है, नहीं कुछ कर पा रहे हो, तो बस अपना आराम से बैठो और पेपर करो, राइट। ऐसे सिचुएशंस में यूजुअली ज्यादातर स्टूडेंट्स कह देते हैं और टीचर मान लेते हैं, राइट। लेकिन किसी चीज का अननेसेसरी एक हवा मत बनाना कि ये खराब है, वो खराब है, वो खराब है, राइट। यू आर नॉट किड्स एनी मोर, तो ये सब होना भी नहीं चाहिए, ठीक है। देखो पैनिक अगर आप कर गए तो जो एक सवाल में पैनिक की हो वो तो गलत होगा ही होगा, उसके आगे के भी 2 गलत होंगे, उसके पीछे के भी 2 गलत होंगे, मतलब देयर आर टेंडेंसीज, देयर आर चांसेस कि ये गलत हो जाएंगे, राइट। सो क्वेश्चन एक खराब था, आपने उसको अपने ऊपर, यू अलाउड दैट क्वेश्चन टू ओवर पावर यू, you allowed that question to panic you, and उसके कारण you ended up marking 4-5 questions wrong, तो ऐसा मत होने देना बिल्कुल, right। another things other things I've told you, right। 1% फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी रखना, उसकी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी क्योंकि 2013 से लेके 2021 तक 8-9 साल के पेपर हैं हमारे पास, अकॉर्डिंगली हमें बहुत आइडिया है चीजों का, बट 1% का हमेशा स्पेस रखना, राइट। देन हमेशा याद रखना इट्स अ रिलेटिव गेम, राइट। एब्सोल्यूट नहीं है ये गेम कि आप सोच रहे हो कि मुझे सब कुछ करके जाना है, मैं सब कुछ करूंगा तभी सब कुछ होगा, राइट। 1-2 क्वेश्चन नहीं भी आते हैं तो ज्यादा नहीं फर्क पड़ेगा, ठीक है ना। मतलब प्रोवाइडेड कि वो क्वेश्चन बहुत डिफिकल्ट नेचर के या मॉडरेट टू डिफिकल्ट नेचर के, ठीक है ना। तो डू नॉट लेट 1 or 2 or 3 क्वेश्चंस डिस्टर्ब योर एंटायर 97 क्वेश्चंस। जैसा कि एग्जांपल मैं दे देता हूँ, इन्होंने किया था 3 स्पोर्ट्स के क्वेश्चन को लोगों ने ऐसे दिखाया था जैसे पता नहीं जैसे 30 क्वेश्चन स्पोर्ट्स के आ गए थे, ठीक है ना। तो ऐसे आएंगे, एंड आई सेड यू ये आपको इंटेंशनली डालेगा यहाँ उधर। और now you tell me why is UPSC placing 3 straight simultaneous questions of sports, right? ऐसा भी तो कर सकता ना कि एक फर्स्ट नंबर पे था, एक 15th पे था, एक 30th पे था, राइट? बट इट डिड नॉट डू दैट। व्हाई? बिकॉज इट वांटेड टू टेस्ट यू कि 3 स्ट्रेट जब क्वेश्चन देखोगे आप, तो आप कैसे हाउ विल यू एडजस्ट योरसेल्फ। तो कैसा भी कुछ भी आए, आपको समझना है कि रिलेटिव गेम है। मेरे को नहीं आते हैं स्पोर्ट्स के, तो ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हम एसएससी का एग्जाम दे रहे हैं या कोई और दे रहे हैं कि जहाँ पर स्पोर्ट्स और एनी ये पर्सन इन न्यूज टाइप चीज बहुत ज्यादा आती है, राइट? हम यूपीएससी के दे रहे हैं जहाँ पे आज तक पूछा भी नहीं गया था, राइट? एंड अकॉर्डिंगली अगर एग्जाम हॉल में 24 स्टूडेंट्स बैठे हैं आपके पर्टिकुलर रूम में, ठीक है, देर आर चांसेस कि उसमें से 22-23 स्टूडेंट्स को क्वेश्चन नहीं आते, ठीक है ना। तो ये समझ लेना, राइट? नेक्स्ट, मोर और लेस मैंने आपको कर ही दी है, सब चीजें बता दी हैं, ठीक है। आई हैव टोल्ड यू 50% की गेम है, ये 6 डेज का, ठीक है, ये वो 2 घंटे का। अगर कहीं पर भी यू नो या फिर कॉम्प्लेसेंट हुए आप, तो chances है कि final result will not be as per your expectation, no matter how much hard work you have done. And I'm telling you, this might not be necessary for, let's say, the knowledge which you'll gather. Although I believe that last 6 दिनों में जो आप रिवाइज करते हो, you know that has a very high tendency of getting being seen in the examination, क्योंकि वो याद रहता है, वो हम कर पाते हैं, ठीक है ना। बट लेट्स से नॉलेज नहीं भी है अगर वो क्राइटेरिया, स्टिल द कॉन्फिडेंस इज द क्राइटेरिया, राइट? ये बहुत जरूरी है, सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस, राइट? यू कैन नॉट फेक इन यूपीएससी, ठीक है ना। आप वो 2 घंटे में जाके अगर 6 दिन से पढ़ाई नहीं की, आप नहीं कह सकते अपने ब्रेन को कि मैंने तो पढ़ा है। तो छोटी मोटी चीजें यू कैन फेक, कि 2 घंटे की नींद कम आई है, कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है। लेकिन अगर पढ़ा ही नहीं है, रिवाइज करा ही नहीं है, लास्ट के 6 दिन में लग रहा है कि यार क्या हो गया ये, ठीक है ना, तो वो कहीं ना वो रिफ्लेक्ट होगा। एक डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन आएगा एंड यू विल स्टार्ट टू शैटर। तो वो नहीं करना है बिल्कुल भी। एंड 2 आवर्स वो मैंने बता ही दिया उसका इंपॉर्टेंस क्या, ठीक है ना। लास्ट एक चीज मैं आपको, इसी का कंटिन्यूएशन है विच आई वांट टू टेल, ठीक है, कि नेक्स्ट 6 दिन का इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है। एंड सी, नॉलेज टेस्ट है, एवरीवन नोज, बट मोर देन दैट इट इज योर साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट, ठीक है। इट इज अ टेस्ट ऑफ योर कॉमन सेंस, ठीक है ना। अब कहने में ये क्लीशे बातें रखती है, ठीक है, लेकिन आपको भी पता है कितनी सच्चाई है। कोई भी पेपर किसी भी साल का उठा के देख लो, यू विल नो कि अगर कॉमन सेंस नहीं यूज करी वहां पे, इफ वी डू नॉट यूज कॉमन सेंस देयर, थिंग्स स्टार्ट टू बिकम शेकी, ठीक है ना। इसका बेस्ट एग्जांपल मैं आपको दूंगा। लास्ट जस्ट 2 थिंग्स इन द लास्ट। नंबर 1, सी, कल मोस्ट लाइकली रिजल्ट्स ऑफ 2021 विल बी आउट टुमारो, ठीक है ना। कितने ऐसे लोग होंगे जो कि दोबारा एक हफ्ते बाद प्रीलिम्स लिख रहे हो, ठीक है ना। एंड नो मैटर हम कितना ही कह लें कि वो भी साथ साथ पढ़ ही रहे होंगे, बट दे माइट बी स्टडिंग simultaneously and everything, but how difficult that situation is. You have that final result coming in, and unfortunately if you are not in that list, how you need to maybe get up. Let's say किसी का 5th attempt था, second last attempt था, and he now has to appear for his last attempt in just 6 days, right? You know how difficult it can get, no matter how much we can say कि पढ़ाई कर ली होगी, but see, बहुत सारे उनमें से ऐसे लोग होंगे जो 6 दिन में ही चीजें ठीक करके ना प्रीलिम्स क्लियर करेंगे. Why? क्योंकि this thing and this thing, they know कि नॉलेज है, ठीक है, अच्छी बात, मतलब उनके पास है, अप्रोप्रिएट नॉलेज है, और मे बी शायद आप लोगों से कम ही नॉलेज हो, लेकिन दे नो हाउ टू बैलेंस देयर माइंड, हाउ टू यू नो काम देयर माइंड, एंड दे नो हाउ टू यूज कॉमन सेंस देयर. ठीक है ना? तो कल रिजल्ट आएगा, उसके बाद भी कुछ लोग करेंगे, राइट? तो उसको टेक इट एज अ मोटिवेशन, राइट, कि अभी भी काफी कुछ बचा है करने वाला. ठीक है. सेकेंड थिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग, सी आईपीएल वगैरह चल रहा है अभी, तो देयर हैव बीन मेनी इंस्टेंसेस जहां पर लास्ट 2 बॉल्स पे 12 रन चाहिए होते हैं, लास्ट 3 बॉल पे 15 रन चाहिए होते हैं. ठीक है. धोनी डिड इट, अनदर बैट्समैन, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर हिज नेम, ही डिड इट. ठीक है. तो अगर आप देखो 2 बॉल 12 रन, मे बी आपका भी कुछ ऐसे सिनेरियो, ठीक है, आपको लगता है अगर, ठीक है, लेकिन यू नो कि हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट दैट इज. अगर वो किया जा सकता है तो वी नो कि ये लास्ट के जो डेज है ना, ये दीज आर नॉट द नॉर्मल डेज. ठीक है. यहाँ पर जो आउटपुट आएगा वो एक्सपोनेंशियल होगा कंपेयर टू वट एवर लीनियर आउटपुट यू हैव बीन गेटिंग टिल नाउ, राइट? सो यस, राहुल तेवतिया वाज द मैन, राइट? सो कहने का मतलब ये है कि understand the importance of these 6 days, then the last 2 days, and those 2 hours, let's say, then those 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, right? जब तक 11:30 नहीं बजते, ठीक है, आपको ऐसा होना चाहिए कि इसका आंसर कहाँ से ढूंढूं, इसका कहाँ से ढूंढूं. ऑफ कोर्स ऐसा नहीं कि बस उधर फिर हड़बड़ी मची हुई है, पैनिक नहीं करना है, लेकिन रिलैक्स माइंडसेट के साथ कॉम्प्लेसेंट नहीं होना, राइट? दिस इज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से. ठीक है. तो दिस इज व्हाट आई वांटेड टू से. कोई डाउट वगैरह हो तो यू कैन आस्क.
Sahil sir, we have 2 doubts over here.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, yes.
Okay. So first doubt is that okay, this one let me handle. Like someone is saying that they get some weird question or unexpected questions of current affairs in the MCQs that they are solving. I will suggest them now need not to worry about anything. See, suppose something is weird, it is not weird for only you, as sir has suggested. Okay, it will be common for everyone. So no need to go for new sources, revise your old sources. And believe me, the questions that you cannot do or you don't have even iota of idea, it is common to all. So it is not going to impact your cutoff or your chances of clearing prelims. Fine. So second question, Sahil sir, I would like you to answer. So it was like, sir, when I attempt mock test score is very low, then I attempt previous year questions, complete paper, got good marks in this, feel confident, but little bit fear. Sahil sir, shall I answer? Okay, fine.
Just a second. Just
Okay.
okay. See, I feel there are 2 aspects to this thing. Firstly, the previous year questions, no matter how much we say that, okay, I have, you know, as a full length paper, I have attempted this thing. But see, in the back of the mind, somewhere, at least 60, 70, 80% चीजों के आंसर हमें पता होते हैं, राइट? और वो while attempting ना, वो बायस आता ही आता है. मे बी वो 10 नंबर का बायस है, 15 मार्क्स बायस, राइट? बट वो आएगा ही आएगा. So previous year questions in that sense, probably if you are looking it from the perspective of marks, right? And if you're someone who has seen that particular questions and answers before, that might not be the right idea to judge. Okay. So the second thing is, see, and equally we have to consider that mocks are not the right criteria to judge your performance, right? अगर आपके मॉक्स में 75 के आसपास आ रहे हैं, राइट, ऑन एन एवरेज 75-80 आ रहे हैं आपके, ठीक है, यू हैव अ डिसेंट चांस ऑफ मेकिंग इट थ्रू. हाँ, अगर वो मॉक्स में स्कोर है 30 है, 35, 40, 45, 50 है, राइट, तो आपको शायद अटेम्प्ट रिकंसिडर करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि अनटिल अनलेस कि आपके एज आपके अटेम्प्ट से पहले एग्जॉस्ट हो रही है, राइट, तो एक अलग बात है. बट अगर ऐसा नहीं है सिनेरियो, ठीक है, तो अटेम्प्ट वेस्ट करने का फायदा नहीं है. 30, 40, 50 मार्क्स आर नॉट गोना गेट यू थ्रू प्रीलिम्स. दिस इज अ ट्रूथ, ठीक है ना, क्योंकि आप रिक्विजिट कॉन्फिडेंस कभी गैदर ही नहीं कर पाओगे, स्पेशली इन द नेक्स्ट 6 days, राइट. दिस इज आफ्टर आई एम सेइंग विद दिस डिस्क्लेमर. मान लो आपको लगता है कि हाँ, वो जो मार्क्स थे 30, 40, 50 नंबर, वो 2 महीने पहले आए थे, ठीक है, और उसके बाद मैंने काफी इंप्रूव कर लिया है, मेरा स्टैटिक रिवाइज हो चुका है, करंट हो चुका है, एवरीथिंग, एंड नाउ आई एम समवेयर अराउंड 75, 80, 85, ठीक है, तो ये तो सही है. बट अगर आप अभी भी मान लो आपने 5 दिन पहले कोई मॉक दिया और आपके नंबर ही 40 आ रहे हैं, 45 आ रहे हैं, 50 आ रहे हैं, ट्राई टू थोड़ा सा फिर कंसिडर करना पड़ेगा कि क्या कहीं अटेम्प्ट तो खराब नहीं होने जा रहा. वो मत करना बिल्कुल भी, ठीक है. दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट टू से. बट आई से देखो, पीवाईक्यूज में यूजुअली 15-20 नंबर ज्यादा ही आते हैं, नेचुरली भी आते हैं, क्योंकि मॉक्स की टेंडेंसी रहती है इरेशनल क्वेश्चंस बनाना रादर देन यूपीएससी, ठीक है. दूसरी बात, मॉक्स का हमें क्वेश्चंस नहीं पता होते हैं, तो वो पे नंबर कम ही आएंगे थोड़े. पीवाईक्यूज के हमें इनडायरेक्टली आंसर्स पता होते हैं, ठीक है ना, तो वो मार्क्स का गैप हमेशा ही रहता है, हर किसी के लिए रहता है. बट द रेंज ऑफ स्कोर्स हियर बिकम इम्पोर्टेंट, ठीक है. अगर वो बहुत कम स्कोर है तो कंसिडर करो. अगर समवेयर 75, 80 स्कोर है एंड यू फील कि तरीके से आपने तैयारी की है, राइट, I believe attempt can be given, provided your every other aspect is on point, means की तैयारी ठीक है and every other thing is okay.
Okay, Sahil sir, once again, an important question I would like you to answer again. So it is about like certain topics have not been touched yet, and they are time-taking topics. So the person should cover those topics or prefer revising the topics that have already been covered, because doing new topics will take again 3-4 days of revisions as well. So it might be a case that the revision will be compromised.
I guess the answer, 90% of my answer will be कि मत करना कोई भी नई चीजें, ठीक है. लेकिन कुछ टॉपिक्स ऐसे होते हैं जिनके बिना अगर आप जाओगे ना, तो वो एक कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आ पाएगा. जैसे मैं बता देता हूँ, अगर आपने अभी तक एक्ट्स नहीं देखे हैं, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल डेवलपमेंट, ठीक है, उसके बिना एग्जाम हॉल में एंटर करना इज लाइक वहां से 2 सवाल भी कई बार पूछ लिए जाते हैं, ठीक है, तो नॉट अ वेरी गुड स्ट्रेटेजी. तो रोज का 15-15 मिनट बैठ के एक्ट्स देखते रहो, ठीक है ना. मान लो 1939 के बाद वाली चीजें आपने नहीं देखी, ऑगस्ट ऑफर क्या है, क्विट इंडिया, क्रिप्स और ये सब, ठीक है, नॉट अ वेरी वाइज स्ट्रेटेजी. तो मैं कहूंगा कि पॉलिटी और मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री के एटलीस्ट जो इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं उन्हें मिस मत करना, ठीक है. नंबर 3 कि जैसे मान लो कि अगर ज्योग्राफी की हम बात करें, तो ड्रेनेज इज दैट एरिया, ठीक है ना, यहाँ से हर साल एक मिनिमम क्वेश्चन आता है, कई साल 2 भी आते हैं, ठीक है. अगर वो नहीं देखा है तो एटलीस्ट गेट सम हैंग ऑफ दैट थिंग, ठीक है ना. तो अगर किसी और, जैसे आर्ट एंड कल्चर है, मे बी अगर नहीं करा है तो जस्ट बुद्धिज्म, जैनिज्म थोड़ा सा करो, ठीक है, एंड जस्ट गो विद इट, ठीक है. अशोक कर लिया, मौर्यन कर लिया, ऑल दीज थिंग. बट कुछ ऐसे सब्जेक्ट्स हैं जहां पर ऐसा नहीं कहा जा सकता कि इसको करे बिना हम चले जाएं तो क्या हो जाएगा, फिर वो थोड़ा सा वो कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड प्रिपरेशन होगी फिर. तो सब्जेक्ट पे डिपेंड करता है। आई विल से कि मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री, पॉलिटी, ये सब करे बिना मत जाना। सिमिलरली इकोनॉमिक्स में भी है, जैसे बेसिक्स आपके क्लियर होने चाहिए, राइट? अब आपको पता ही नहीं है मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी क्या है, क्या CRR है, SLR है, और आप कह रहे हो कि अ, मतलब वो मैंने नहीं पढ़ा है अभी तक, तो क्या पढ़कर जाऊं? बिल्कुल पढ़कर जाना होगा, राइट? देयर इज नो एब्सोल्यूट, मतलब उसमें कोई हेयर एंड देयर है ही नहीं कि ये मत पढ़कर जाओ, ठीक है? तो कुछ है, तभी मैंने कहा है कि इफ यू हैव डाउट तो वो एक PDF है चैनल पर, ठीक है? उसको आई विल फॉरवर्ड, ठीक है? उसमें से एटलीस्ट मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री, पॉलिटी, इकोनॉमिक्स के वो टॉपिक्स जरूर कर कर चले जाना, नहीं? बाकी इट डिपेंड्स ऑन कि आप कितना कर सकते हो।
Sir, can I ask a doubt?
Yeah.
तो सर वॉट एवर आर लाइक द स्टेटिक एरियाज, जैसे कि पॉलिटी हो गया, मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री हो गया, जोग्राफी, इकोनॉमी, उसके बारे में सर लाइक इवन आफ्टर गिविंग PYQs एंड लुकिंग एट ऑल द थिंग्स, थोड़ी सी ऐसी कॉम्प्लेसेंसी आ रही है कि ये टॉपिक्स बहुत अच्छे से कवर हो गए, बट ऑन द अदर हैंड देर आर सर्टन टॉपिक्स लाइक आर्ट एंड कल्चर और प्रॉबेबली साइंस एंड टेक और प्रॉबेबली करंट अफेयर्स, जिसको मतलब इतना टाइम दिया ही नहीं है लाइक थ्रू आउट दिस प्रेपरेशन. सो डू यू थिंक इट वुड बी वाइज टू कवर दैट एरियाज, या फिर जिसमें कॉन्फिडेंट लग रहा है, इज इट लाइक अ सेफ स्ट्रैटेजी टू जस्ट कीप रिवाइजिंग वॉट एवर लाइक द बेसिक्स आर, जहाँ से पक्का पता है कि 50-60 क्वेश्चन तो उसी एरिया में बनने हैं?
देखो, आर्ट एंड कल्चर का तो मैं नहीं कहूंगा, ठीक है ना? उसमें तो अब पैर डालना, थोड़ी सी हाथ डालना इज प्रोबेबली नॉट अ वेरी वाइज स्ट्रेटेजी, ठीक है? ज्यादा से ज्यादा आप क्या कर सकते हो आर्ट एंड कल्चर में, जो आपके फाइन आर्ट्स की किताब है, राइट? उसमें कुछ कुछ एक एक पेज वाली वो चीजें हैं, राइट? कहीं पर वो सारनाथ बुद्धा का एक्सप्लेनेशन है, कहीं पर वो है, तो अगर उतना मैनेज कर सकते हो, दैट कैन बी डन। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट आई डू नॉट थिंक सो कि ये एक हफ्ता आर्ट एंड कल्चर करने के, राइट? जहां तक रही साइंस टेक की बात, ठीक है ना? साइंस टेक में एटलीस्ट स्पेस के बेसिक्स जरूर कर कर चले जाना। GSAT क्या है, इनसैट क्या है, जियो सिंक्रोनस क्या है, जियो स्टेशनरी क्या है, लो अर्थ क्या है, ऑल दीज थिंग्स, राइट? स्पेस के बेसिक्स थोड़े से क्लियर होने चाहिए। स्पेस के इनिशिएटिव्स क्या थे वो थोड़े से पता हो। मे बी अनदर एक्सटेंशन कुड बी द बेसिक बायोलॉजी, ठीक है? थोड़ा सा प्लांट सेल, एनिमल सेल का कहीं पर 5-10 मिनट का एक वीडियो देख लिया, ठीक है? उसके क्या क्या ऑर्गेनेलिज होते हैं और ऑल दीज थिंग्स, इतना बेयर मिनिमम थोड़ा सा कर जाना। बाकी साइंस टेक के प्रीवियस ईयर एक बार देख जाना, ठीक है? एटलीस्ट टू नो द लैंग्वेज ऑफ द थिंग्स, ठीक है ना? तो
Okay.
आई गेस दिस कैन सफाइस। आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि ये इक्विवेलेंट है टू समवन हु हैज डन एवरीथिंग नाइसली, but this is the best we can manage. This is the best what we can manage at this time.
Thank
सर,
you.
गुड इवनिंग सर।
Good evening, Gopal. Please ask the question.
सर, मेरा डाउट सीसेट से लेके था। मैंने विजन के टेस्ट सॉल्व करे थे, उसमें मेरा 75 to 80 के बीच में स्कोर आ रहा था। मैंने 5-6 टेस्ट लगाए थे, बट सर मेरा डर खत्म नहीं हो रहा है सीसेट को लेके अंदर सर।
Okay, fine. Science, let me answer this question. Okay, Gopal, what I will suggest you, first of all, right now, logical reasoning is something that you can target. Even if you give daily 1 hour or something, it will give a good results. Okay, apart from logical reasoning, you can focus on the math part where you are good at. Suppose I am not good at the percentage, I will not touch the percentage in the last moments. But yes, if I am good at the man days and work, I am good at the, I'll say, probability. So I will revise those concepts. Apart from that, there is a time tested strategy that every SOMP mentee have been following, that for the reading comprehension part, you don't rely on any coaching material. You just go back to your previous year questions of UPSC. You just see what you are going to mark to that reading comprehension. Then go to the UPSC answer key and see what UPSC has marked. If your thought process and UPSC's thought process is on same side, you need not to worry about it. If not, then see why UPSC has marked something else and why you were thinking something else. Then in the next questions, try to think the way UPSC wants you to think. don't apply your mind, rather than just make sure that the way UPSC has thought for that question, I will be going according to that logic only. With this method, your reading comprehensions will become, I will say a strong 40 rather than a weaker side of yours. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So quickly having some more questions, answer. Let us finish. Okay, yeah, please.
Sir, I want to ask you like about current affairs. सर मैंने साइंस एंड टेक एनवायरमेंट लाइक स्कीम्स लाइक इकोनॉमिक सर्वे बजट ये सब लाइक ऑलमोस्ट कवर किया है, तो वही रिवाइज करना है. सो तो लाइक मेजर चंक्स यही है ना सर, लाइक नॉट टू गो लाइक दैट मंथली वाला मैगजीन.
See, presently, if you have relied on the yearly compilation, rely on it. If you have done monthly, revise that. If you have done something else, rely on that. Because in the last week, I cannot say you can do that as well. For the time being, whatever you have done, have faith on you and it will be fine.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Fine?
सर सर्वे पूरे सर्वे नहीं किया है.
No, now you need not to do. Now you need not to do.
सर लाइक जो टेस्ट जो सॉल्व किए सर वो भी रिवाइज करना पड़ेगा ना, लाइक ऑल.
हाँ, whatever test you have solved, please do revise, because not revising test is equivalent to not attempting a test. Fine?
एटलीस्ट टेस्ट की मिस्टेक्स रिवाइज कर लेना, जो गलतियां
हाँ.
करी हैं टेस्ट में वो रिवाइज कर लेना.
ठीक है.
Okay.
So next set of questions, sir, what can be recommended range of attempting questions in the unconventional paper like 2021? I usually attempt 97, but that backfired, I guess. Sahil sir.
आई गेस पर्सनल है ये, तो मॉक से जज होना चाहिए था, बट नहीं अगर हुआ है तो मेरा आई फील कि 80 to 90 के बीच वाला जो रेंज है दैट इज अ मोर कंफर्टेबल रेंज. 90 प्लस कुछ ही लोग जा पाते हैं, और वो क्योंकि उनका एक एक्सपीरियंस है, ठीक है, एक सक्सेसफुल एक्सपीरियंस रहा होता है उनका, कि जब भी वो 90 प्लस गए हैं इट हैज गेन्ड देम समथिंग, ठीक है ना. तो अगर आपका ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस नहीं रहा है और पेपर अगर 2021 लेवल का आ जाता है या उससे मुश्किल आ जाता है, तो डू नॉट गो फॉर 90 प्लस. 80 to 85 to 90, ठीक है, यही कोई रेंज होना चाहिए. तो 85 अपना मीडियन पॉइंट मान के 2-3 इधर उधर खेल लेना उसमें, ठीक है. 83 to 87 कुड बी योर पॉइंट, ठीक है. 97 तो बहुत ज्यादा होता है, तो डू नॉट गो अबाउट इट.
Fine. So a last question that, sir, can we use whitener in the answer sheet? See, Shikha, that whitener has been used by me, myself, but please avoid it. Okay, I was scolded in the examination hall. Teachers had said n number of things. However, I was not sure of my results, that if I will be there in the list or my roll number will not be there, just because my answer copy will not be checked. There were n number of issues with me, but somehow it got checked. But yes, I will say try to avoid it. Be calm while filling your OMR sheets. So one last question that people are not getting the confidence that they should be having. Sahil sir. Confidence part, sir. They are feeling they blackout. They don't know anything. Sahil sir, you there?
Yes, I'm there. So I'm saying confidence का ऐसा ही है कि कुछ चीजें हो सकती है कि which are causing the lack of confidence, ठीक है. नंबर 1 could be कि शायद पिछले 2-3 दिन से पढ़ाई नहीं हुई है, तो आपने मे बी अपने आप को ओवरबर्डन कर रखा है, ठीक है, कि वो भी पढ़ लेता हूँ, वो भी, तो उस कारण जो कोर एरियाज है वो छूट रहे हैं, ठीक है ना. तो इस टाइम पर डिफाइन योर लिमिट्स कि भाई मैं इतना ही कर सकता हूँ, राइट. उतना भी अगर कर लोगे, ठीक है, दैट इज वे मोर देन इनफ, मतलब इनफ, ठीक है. तो एक अपना लिमिट सेट कर लो कि 6 दिन है. 6 दिन मतलब अगर 13 आवर्स 14 आवर्स भी एवरेज में लेकर चलो तो 75 to 80 आवर्स में पास है, राइट. तो उतना ही मैं कर सकता हूँ, एंड उसमें ओके आई नीड टू रिवाइज माय पॉलिटी टॉपिक्स, मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री टॉपिक्स, ऑल दीज टॉपिक्स. तो उनको ना कहीं पर एक पेज पर लिख लो, एंड बस उनका डेली टारगेट बना के उसकी स्ट्रैटेजी बनाकर करते रहो, ठीक है ना। एज आई सेड यू, ये कभी कभी लैक ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस इसलिए भी स्टेम करता है कि हम अपने आप को कंपेयर करने लगते हैं, राइट, कि उसने तो इतना पढ़ लिया होगा, उसने 20 टेस्ट लगा लिए, उसने 50 लगा लिए, ठीक है। बट रिमेंबर दिस थिंग कि ये लास्ट के 6 दिन ना, अगर जिसने नहीं करा वो तो पक्का जाएगा, क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने बताया ना, नॉलेज नहीं लेकिन कॉन्फिडेंस जो आपको हिला देगा अगर आपने नहीं पढ़ा, ठीक है। तो अपनी लिस्ट बनाओ, वो टॉपिक्स लिख लो प्रॉपर, आज वही कर लो बेशक, ठीक है ना। आज सेशन के बाद 1 घंटा बैठो, अपने टॉपिक्स बना लो कि ये पहले करने, ये भी इनकी मुझे 2 रिवीजन चाहिए अगले 6 दिनों में, ठीक है। ये इनकी 1 रिवीजन हो जाएगी। अभी तक टॉपिक सबको पता होते हैं, राइट, ऐसा कोई नहीं है, एक सीरियस एस्पिरेंट ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि जिसको टॉपिक्स भी नहीं पता, ठीक है ना। तो वो लिस्ट बना लो एंड देन जस्ट कीप रीडिंग देम एंड कीप टिकिंग देम ऑफ, ठीक है, कि ये हो गया, 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 ठीक है। कॉन्फिडेंस विल स्टार्ट कमिंग बैक। अनदर थिंग कि कभी कभी ओवर सैचुरेशन हो जाती है, इस कारण से भी कॉन्फिडेंस की कमी होती है, राइट। तो जब भी ओवर सैचुरेट हो, जब भी लगे कि ब्रेन थोड़ा सा काम नहीं कर रहा है, तो इट इज बेटर कि 10-15 मिनट, आधे घंटे का ब्रेक ले लो और फिर स्टार्ट करो, क्योंकि वैसे भी कुछ पढ़ाई होने नहीं वाली है उस आधे घंटे में। तो अननेसेसरी किताब खोल के बैठे हैं, कुछ समझ भी नहीं आ रहा है, तो उससे बेटर है आधा घंटा वॉक कराओ और वापस आ जाओ, ठीक है ना। कुछ ज्यादा फर्क पड़ने वाला नहीं है, लेकिन एटलीस्ट जो उस आधे घंटे के बाद जो होगा वो एटलीस्ट कुछ प्रोडक्टिव होगा, राइट। मोर ओवर, जस्ट ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस। अगर ठीक से तैयारी की है तो सही होगा सब। इम्प्लीमेंट अपने आप को ठीक से करके आना। देखो, अगर तो तैयारी में फॉल्ट लाइंस है तो उसका कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकता, लेकिन तैयारी अगर अभी तक ठीक की है और लैक ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस सिर्फ अभी ही आया है, ठीक है ना, वो नेचुरल है, ठीक है। तो उसको समझो कि दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोसेस, दिस इज हैपनिंग विद एवरीवन। ऐसा कोई नहीं है, ठीक है, जिसका किस टाइम पे कॉन्फिडेंस की कमी होती है। एंड एज आई सेड यू ना, कल रिजल्ट आएगा, कुछ लोग 6 दिन में भी क्लियर कर जाएंगे। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि वो 6 दिन में आपसे ज्यादा पढ़ गए, ठीक है ना। बट द थिंग इज कि दे मेंटेन्ड देयर काम, देयर पॉइज, एंड दे डिड द राइट थिंग फॉर द 6 days एंड दोस 2 hours। तो थोड़ा सा शांत हो, अपनी टॉपिक लिस्ट बनाओ, ठीक है, एंड इम्प्लीमेंट दैट थिंग। कंपेयर मत करना इस टाइम पे अपने आप को कि उसके इतने टेस्ट हो गए, उसके उतने हो गए। बस इतना देखो कि अगर आप कहीं पे 75, 80, 85 वाली रेंज में हो, तो 6 दिन अपने आप को पूरा खींच दो, एंड फिर 2 घंटे में अपने आप को अच्छे से इम्प्लीमेंट करके आओ, राइट। आई एम अज्यूमिंग कि यू हैव मेड अप योर माइंड टू टेक दिस अटेम्प्ट, राइट। So I hope I've answered your question. Any other question? मस्ट डू टॉपिक्स पीडीएफ, हाँ वो मैं फॉरवर्ड कर दूंगा 30 days। यस, वो मैं कर दूंगा आई गेस। उस पीडीएफ का नाम होगा आउटकम बेस्ड प्रोग्राम, ठीक है। उसकी जो पीडीएफ है ना, उसका टॉपिक लिस्ट देख लेना, राइट। सो मेन चैनल पर आई फॉरवर्ड इट।
सर आई वांट टू आस्क सर,
यस यस प्लीज। हाँ हाँ
इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन का लाइक मैंने जो इतना अच्छे से किया नहीं, जो ईयरली भी है वो भी, तो उसका सर बेसिकली मैपिंग में ही इम्पोर्टेंस है ना, लाइक जो न्यूज में चल रहा है उसी का ये ना, मतलब उसको कैसे मतलब करूँ नेक्स्ट 6 days में।
प्लेसेस इन न्यूज देख लेना एक बार, ठीक है, जो मोस्ट कॉमन मैगजीन है, नॉट नेमिंग इट हियर, बट उसमें लास्ट में मैप दिया होता है, राइट। तो वहां से देख लेना वो, ठीक है, प्लेसेस इन न्यूज। प्लस आई से कि थोड़ा सा आईएमएफ, वर्ल्ड बैंक, इनका आइडिया हो, रिपोर्ट्स का आइडिया हो। एक बार समिट्स को देख लेना जो मेजर मेजर हुई है, ठीक है ना। जो
ओके
आपकी जो भी कंपाइलेशन है ना, उसमें ये देख लेना कि जो मेजर हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, जैसे ब्रिक्स है, AIIB है, ठीक है, IMF है, वर्ल्ड बैंक, WTO, बिम्स्टेक है, आसियान है। अगर इंडिया के रिस्पेक्ट में इनकी कोई रिसेंट समिट हुई है, ठीक है, उसके जो बोल्ड कीवर्ड्स हैं उनको पढ़ लेना। मान लो कहीं पे आ जाता है कोई दिल्ली डिक्लेरेशन, कोई और डिक्लेरेशन, ये डिक्लेरेशन, वो डिक्लेरेशन, एटलीस्ट कीवर्ड एसोसिएशन भी देख लोगे ना 15-20 मिनट में, एटलीस्ट वो कर लेना बस।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर। एंड सर
Thank you,
सीसैट का
welcome.
डेली एक पेपर लगाना है क्या, लाइक फॉर 1 वीक, मतलब कैसे?
That depends, आपका सीसैट में कंफर्ट जोन कितना है।
सर लाइक मैं टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड से हूँ, बट स्टिल लाइक दीज डेज सीसैट का थोड़ा इशू हो रहा है, लाइक पेपर कंप्लीट नहीं वगैरह होता, तो मैंने ऐसे
एक
प्रैक्टिस
पेपर,
किए बट पेपर सॉल्व नहीं किए ज्यादा, बिकॉज पीवाईक्यू ही मैं प्रेफर कर रही थी।
हाँ तो एक पेपर डेली शायद थोड़ा ज्यादा ही हो जाएगा फॉर समवन हु इज फ्रॉम अ टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड। मे बी अगले 6 दिन में 2 पेपर आप कर सकते हो। एक पेपर तो रोज का उतना टाइम जीएस में इन्वेस्ट करो, ज्यादा रिजल्ट आएगा। एंड मोर ओवर अगर आप टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड से हो तो थोड़ा सा एफर्ट रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में डालना पर, ठीक है ना, वहां पर गलतियां कम हो, ये थोड़ा सा वी शुड एस्पायर।
ओके सर, ओके सर, थैंक यू।
ओके।
Okay, sir, I think we are almost done with the most of the questions as well, doubts as well. Just a request to you that you share that PDF to the channel in the last.
Yes, I am just forwarding it on the channel. Right?
Okay. Okay. Shall we stop the recording now? Okay, you are the host.